Jacynth Ivey is a transformational leader. She's a coach, she's an author, a mentor, a sought-after inspirational speaker. You will learn why. And she runs 2 companies, Inspiring Hope and JacynthIvey.com. With over 25 years of experience in her field, she works with senior leaders, developing and helping them to achieve their big goals, utilizing her experience as an executive director and non-executive director in the public sector and a chair of an award-winning charity. Jacynth works with corporate entities, training and consulting, and is known for her expertise in diversity, inclusion, organizational development, culture transformation, and so much more. She's the author of It's Okay to Be Different, which helps people to transform their mind. We'll talk a bit about that. Reignite their passion and fulfill their dreams. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome today on Global Champion Summit, my dear friend, Jacynth Ivey.
Oh, Camilita, thank you so much for that warm welcome on this beautiful sunny day here in England.
Oh, listen, I'm thinking to myself, Lord, why did I choose to do this summit on this day? Look at it, look at outside.
It's gorgeous, isn't it?
It's hot. Listen, guys, you better pay attention. It's 27 degrees outside and I'm in the office. So you guys better pay attention. Jacynth, we're talking today about 7 steps to transforming your mind and achieving your brilliance. Why is it so many people struggle with achieving their brilliance? I've watched some of the chats and some people are in that boat right now. Okay, let me ask the question and then we'll get you started. How many of you listening need to transform your mind right now to achieve your brilliance? You know, it is your mindset that's holding you back. Somebody comment and tell me here. Jacynth, why is it so many people struggle with that?
Because people don't acknowledge that actually it's okay to be different. And that's the title of my book, that everybody at one point in time has felt different, and that difference has impacted them one way or another. And often we think, I don't know about you, Camilita, but sometimes, you know, maybe growing up or growing through your life when you felt like you've not quite fitted in, but instead of it feeling like, oh, well, that's okay, it's probably a positive. You felt less than, kind of blame yourself. You look at yourself, it's, you know, it's everybody else. You have this negative impact on you. And, you know, we've got to get to that place and acknowledge it is okay to be different, because actually, I always say difference adds value.
Jacynth, it took me, no, guys, come on. How many of you would believe this right now? It took me years to believe I could do what I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
It took me years. How many of you would believe that? Come on, guys, I need you to comment. It's hot in here. You guys comment. How many of you believe that it took me a long time to get to do what I'm doing? Because I did not believe, Jacynth, in what you were saying. I did not believe in my brilliance.
And you know what we do, Camilita, because I'm with you there, is we look at everybody else. We compare ourselves to everybody else. But you know, we are not living or haven't lived their story. So we have no idea how they got there, indeed what they're having to do to stay there. We have no idea about, maybe they are just like us, like the swan outside, but underneath they're madly. There's this panic and there's
but it's holding so many people back from earning. It's holding people back from earning what they should earn and living in their truth. I want to talk about your own story, because you weren't earning what you know you could earn, and you weren't living in your own truth. Tell us about that.
So my probably upbringing isn't unlike others, but I was as a nurse in the British NHS. I was successful in becoming a director of nursing, and I say I was successful because actually in an organisation, it's the 4th largest organisation in the world, the NHS. Okay, so you can imagine the size, and in the 4th largest organisation in the NHS, there are about 10, 12 of us that look like me as directors of nurses. Wow. And so that was a massive achievement. But I didn't look at it as a massive achievement. Actually, it was something that I felt was in my right. Yeah, it was my right. I worked hard, I studied, I understood what was happening nationally, how that applied. You know, I did all of this stuff and became a director of nursing. But the challenges still came, Camilita, as a woman, and then as a woman from a minority group, so as a Black woman, the challenges came. You were ignored, I was ignored, I wasn't included in stuff. My abilities were often questioned by my peers, not my seniors.
Wow.
I was undermined, I was bullied,
Oh my God.
all sorts of stuff.
Let me ask a question. How many of you are in that place right now whereby you probably don't even know how amazing or how powerful you really are? How many of you are in that space right now? Come on, you could message us directly. I know some of you are at work. You could message us directly, or you could, just type it in. How many of you feel you're in that space right now? You're like, you're there, but you kind of don't really know why you're there, or you're not even operating in all of who you are. You could do 10 times more. So how did you deal with that, Jacynth?
Well, you know what happens when you are in that place? You lose confidence, you question yourself.
Wow.
I felt like I was going into myself. I was becoming quieter and quieter and quieter at work. I would slip in and slip out in the hope that nobody saw me.
My God.
What I recognized at one point, though, Camilita, was actually this was damaging me, damaging my health, mentally, physically, my self-esteem. I recognized that actually I wasn't going to be able to shine as I knew I could within that organization. And so I left. And I think sometimes too many people try to stay in an organization and try to change an organization where the culture has been set way before you came, way before I came.
I think that's speaking to somebody who's listening right now. They probably don't want to share, but they're probably in a situation where they're stuck and they're afraid to get out.
Yeah. Yeah. And we can be afraid to get out. And we have to get to that point now. It says enough is enough. I either stay and do something about it, or I leave.
Wow.
Or I stay and do nothing and continue, obviously. I chose to leave at that point because what I started to do was recognize and acknowledge I've got a skill set, a knowledge base, that actually I can move. As I said, 4th largest employer in the world, somebody must want this skill set. Wow. And so I left, actually. And as I left, I had a friend and a colleague who said, Jacynth, come and do some work with me. Yeah. Because I know you're good at this and I know you're good at that. And so I did some work here and I did some work there. And one of the things that I always say, one of the most important things, Camilita, and you know this, is around networking.
Absolutely.
Relationships. We can't do this by ourselves. Yeah? The power of having those networks and using them, not just when you need somebody.
Okay. I want to ask something now. So we know the book is called It's Okay to Be Different. And I guess everybody on the line here is very different. Like there's no, oh my God, thank God there's no 2 Alec Jones Hall. He's listening.
Oh, he's amazing though.
He's amazing. I love him. He's coming in a few minutes. There is no other Alec Jones Hall. Okay, Alec, we're talking about you. There's no other Alec Jones Hall. And we're grateful for him for who he is.
Yes.
Your ability. And you teach people how to step into their own truth and realize who they are so that they can achieve their brilliance. Tell us, what's that about? How do you do that? What was that process? What does that look like?
And in answering that, I want to just address there's a question in the chat.
Julian.
How do you find success when the tangible results are not seen? Often we define success mapped against somebody else's measure of success, and successful based on something else. We have to go inward. We have to define our own success in terms of what is it that we want out of life, and who is it that we believe we are, and who is it that we believe we can become. And that's where our success needs to be measured. So I could earn £100 and think I'm successful. Somebody else could earn 5 million and think that they're not successful. So the success is relative, and that's the really important thing. Don't measure it against anybody else. And so I say to clients, kind of, go back and look at all your gifts, your blessings, your talents, all the stuff that you can do well, all the things that other people have complimented you for, or come to ask your advice on. Start to really have a look at that, because that your future, your success lies within that basket of stuff.
So Lorraine is saying, I'm kind of tired of being told how wonderful and smart I am. I don't have anything to show for it, even by my own definition of success. Now, can I answer Lorraine?
Please do.
Darling, all you need is a system. You need a system, you need a plan, you need a coach. Simple. If you have a system that creates a level, and as Jacynth is talking about, a level of success, and you've got a plan to execute that level of success, and then you've got a coach that will keep you accountable to make it happen, you're a winner. Plain and simple.
Absolutely. And that's the system that I advocate. First of all, it's acknowledging who you are, your authenticity. Who is it you are? Who is it you say you are? Somebody was to ask you that. And then discover your reason why. What is your purpose? What is your gifting? What is your reason why? What is it that, sometimes I say, if you weren't going to get paid, what is it that you believe you would do? Absolutely. You're not going to get paid. What is your gifting? Your reason why. And one of the things I learned from you, Camilita, was the big why. And that's really important as well, that big why. So I do what I do. My big why is so that I can lie in the sun and I can work from the sunshine.
Indeed.
Yeah. And I can look after my mother and I can support my children where I need to. That's my big why. Yeah. And in order to do that, then I work with corporate organizations and I do X.
That's it. You see what you just said is so powerful. And for everybody that's listening, Sheldon said, how do you curtail your truth to build a platform for success? Sheldon, what do you mean by that? Do you want to expand on it a little bit more? How do you shorten your truth to build a platform for success? Explain, just give us a bit more. Lewis says, I get told I'm talented, but that doesn't translate to clients. Just talk to Lewis.
But that is back to the very point you just raised, Camilita, is that we can be talented, but at times we've kind of got this scattergun approach. We need to have a system and stick to that system. I think oftentimes people, we talk with clients about having a system and they develop a system, but they don't stick at it. They expect instant success. That instant success is not a thing.
And you need to have a system to get new clients. Clients are out there, believe me, people actually want to pay you. They want to pay you a lot of money. But your job is to have a system, one, to get to your ideal clients. I prefer personally, and we talk about this a lot, Jacynth, I prefer personally to have 20 clients. Okay, let me show you. I'm not going to show you. I got something there. You know what I'm talking about. I prefer to have 20 clients, pay me 50 grand a year. That's $1 million a year, than to have 100 clients paying me £1,000 or 5,000 or 10,000. Personally, that's my personal choice.
But that's quality, isn't it? Quality over quantity. You want to have a deep relationship with your client where actually you are serving them well.
Indeed.
And you're supporting them through the transformation, supporting them through what they perceive as success, supporting them to develop systems. It's not one system. There are a number of systems. So as you said, there's a system for getting a client. So what happens then when you get that client? Yes, before you get that client, you have to have a system to take them through. Indeed. And then there's another system. So it is about systematizing your business. And we often only think about systematizing if we're, I don't know, building widgets, developing something like that, got some big factory. But actually we need to systematize our business in order to get the results that we are looking for.
Well, Lewis has so much clarity from your answers. Thank you. Lewis, you could do this. Jacynth, I want you to share one last thing before I talk about what it is that you do to help entrepreneurs. And this is coming back to what Lewis is saying and Sheldon. Share that little story about having money, not having money, and then having the wisdom to have more money. Tell us about that. Tell us.
So as I said, I left the NHS. I went and I did the odd bit of work with a friend. And then I thought, actually, I'm quite good at this, going into organizations, doing a bit of work and coming out. I'm quite good at this and they pay me. And so I developed that business, kind of organizational development, working with organizations around transformation. And I earned a lot of money. And it was very successful. And I'm going to say that in quotes because it was successful by my definition at that time.
Right.
And then we had a financial crash, economic financial crash. The organizations that I was working for could no longer use consultants. And that was it, Camilita. The bottom came out of it. No more money, no more contracts, no more success. And I just thought, oh. And actually what happened, so I was able to live for a while, but most people, if they don't have 3 months money kind of in there, they're just going to go under straight away. So I managed to live a little while. And then I ended up, now listen, folks, this is the real truth. I ended up on government handouts. So on government handouts, I had to sign on every week.
My God.
Camilita, as I went to sign on, the nerves came. I would look around to see if there was anybody I knew, because it was within walking distance from my home. Jesus. I would look around to see if there's anybody that I knew. I went in, I dressed down, my whole demeanor was down.
My God.
And then one day I thought, if you don't do something about this, that will be your destiny.
Yeah.
And so I went back to that place and thought, Jacynth, yes, you can do better than this. And I went back and I checked what was in my basket. What was in my basket? What was all the stuff? And who were some of the people? So I'd even lost touch, Camilita, with some people because I felt ashamed and embarrassed that I was working and what might they think and all of this. But I plucked up the courage and I contacted them. And somebody offered me a piece of work and it started again from there.
But what was the difference when it started? Because obviously you started earning a lot of money. What's the difference now back then?
When I was earning the money first time, I had my head down and it was like, yeah, I'm earning money. And I just did it. I never thought about a system. I never put my head up and said, what is happening economically, financially?
My God.
Where are the potential opportunities?
My God.
Yeah? How do I have either pivot, shift, expand what it is that I'm doing? How do I keep one step ahead? Some people want to be 10 steps. I was just, let me keep one step ahead so that I'm ready, I'm prepared, I can offer before people even think.
My God.
And that was the difference. That was the difference, Camilita. So we can be brilliant and have brilliant skills, technically, kind of physically or whatever else. But if we don't put our head up and understand what is happening out there, we'll not survive.
Guys, are you hearing that? Wow, are you hearing that? And I'm going to come to the book before we close off, Jacynth. Polly says, how do you translate your skills into a money-making role? Okay, Polly, I'll help you with that. I have good personal skills, a people's person. How do I find the perfect job to translate that into an income? Okay, number one, Polly, you're not finding a job. Okay.
A job is just over broke.
Just over broke position. No, not on this call. What you need to do is those skills, you make a list. Sometimes we sort of leave the things we should do first last. Make a list of the skills you're good at. Make a list. Okay? And start offering those skills to people for free.
And Camilita, the other thing is absolutely make a list. Ask loved ones, friends, what do you think I'm good at? Or what can I offer? And look, so I've worked with somebody who worked in the corporate world and was at a point where not sure what to do. And when we talked and made the list, she made amazing cakes. Yeah. And you think, yeah, well, she made amazing cakes. Not only did she make amazing cakes, she decorated them. She now has a profitable business. doing wedding cakes, celebration cakes, etc., 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 which is now beginning to expand. But the point of that example is that sometimes your giftings and your blessings can take you in a different direction.
Absolutely.
Oh,
and it's not where you think you want to go, but it's what the clients are asking you for. Holly, make a list, darling, of all your skills, all what you think you're good at, you're good at. Other people, hey, I'm good at talking. You guys know that. Let me tell you. Okay.
And your point there, Camilita, right? It's about where are the pains? What is it people want?
That's it.
And then how can, with my list, with my basket of goods, how can I support, enable, encourage? How can I do that?
And do your due diligence. Look and see how other people are charging, what they are charging, and put a price list together. And you may have to barter to begin with. You may have to do things free so people can, give you business, but just start doing it, because the system will start taking a life of its own. But look, Jacynth, I want to come to this. Let me talk about this before you have to close off, right?
Yes, yeah.
It's all well and good us telling people that. How do you help people to achieve that? Because most people, they need somebody to help them. They need a coach, they need a mentor, they need someone to say, let me hold your hand. This is what you can do and how you can do it. And this, I'm coming to that whole idea about that transforming your mind first, but then achieving your brilliance, understanding the steps that you need to do to achieve your brilliance. How do you help people do that?
The first thing people need to recognize, it's not an overnight thing. This is a journey over a period of time. And so I work with clients over months, sometimes over years, but I work with clients over a period of time using my system, working with them. The steps are outlined in my book, but obviously I work very closely and tailor it to their issue, to their situation. So we've talked about acknowledging who you are. We've talked about understanding your reason why. You need to be clear about where you want to go. It's really important. You cannot drive, you cannot move forward with your head down. You have to be really clear and look over that horizon, about where is it you want to go. Going back to that big why, being really clear about that. And oftentimes people have these amazing action plans, Camilita, but actually they sit and they collect dust. People invest in technology and all this sort of thing, and I'm not against it. But if you don't take action, if you don't do anything with it, and so often at time I have to work with clients around, so what is stopping you from taking that action? Which is often mindset, Camilita. Mindset, the stories that we tell ourselves, the stories that we've internalized from others that we believe to be true, that aren't true, the limitations that we put on ourselves. So I work, a lot of the work is with clients around really helping them to transform those their mindset
first, before they can sort of move forward.
Ultimate belief, and how to, I talk about how to guard your mind, how to block out those naysayers, so that you can keep focused, because you are absolutely brilliant. And I also talk to people about, so what are going to be your measures of success? And those who come from corporate world will know about KPIs and all those sorts of things, but we all have to have a measure of success. What's our success? And it will be proportionate to what your income. So I can't say measure.
You know what? Let's touch on that really quickly. And I remember somebody last Sunday, I was listening to a church service, and the lady said, people are at this level and they're complaining and sort of, worried. And there are people that are at this level that are doing exactly the same, because it's their level of success. How can people guard not sort of, overthinking or overstressing themselves because they think they always want more and not able to enjoy today? Just enjoy right now. Enjoy what you've achieved today.
Yeah, it is. And that's why the measures of success are sometimes quite simple. It might be, actually, when I achieve this amount, or I do this, my husband and I, my partner and I, my friend and my girlfriends, we're going to go out for a meal and celebrate. Because when you celebrate, it's because you've achieved X, Y, and Z. And so that's why I said the measure of success is proportionate And I would always say to my clients, build those in, build those successes in. The weekend away, the trip to the theatre is as a result of.
So it doesn't have to be something big. It can just be something that you want to do that will just, you know, because you might move from one country to another and you think, well, I'm not making it yet. Well, just wait, you know, it will come.
And success, because there's a psychology behind it. So when we treat ourselves and we feel, it makes us feel good. But when we've treated ourselves because we've achieved something, that's something extra.
So let me ask everybody. So we got one question from Wayne. Wayne says, what's the key to breaking that mindset, that wrong mindset, Jacynth?
Most people are in what I call wilderness mentality. Yeah. So yeah, they're wandering around the kind of the desert, you know, the analogy. For 40 years. The same thoughts, the same feelings, in the same environment, talking to the same people about the same problem time and time again.
Wow.
Unless we break out of that. Yeah, we've got to break out of that wilderness mentality. And that's why I call it, and most people don't recognize they're there. And the job of a coach, of you and I, of a coach, is simply sometimes just to reflect what we're hearing and what we're seeing. And I've seen clients go, wow, I didn't realize.
When they're out of it. So, okay, how many of you, let me ask a question, how many of you would like Jacynth's help? Jacynth is in our club. She's one of the council members. Hey, so when you do join the club, you will be getting a lot more of this. How many of you would like a lot more of this? Number one, today, and number two, moving forward to the rest of this year. How many of you would like more of this now? And I'm going to tell you how you can have access to speak with her. How many of you would like to talk to Jacynth? You're like, oh my God, I really need to talk to her. Lorraine says, just a few days ago, I told someone I felt like Moses.
That's right. That's right, Lorraine.
If any of you want to speak with Jacynth, you guys know how it goes on the summit. I need a drum roll, and then I will get all of you a couple of chapters of her book, and you can speak with her. How many of you would like to speak with Jacynth? You'd like to be a part of the club so you can hear her. You're going to do a drum roll, and you're going to say yes. I want to see everybody saying yes, and then you will get it. So come on, I want to see everybody saying it quickly. Who wants to talk to Jacynth? Who would like to speak with her? Who would like a tool from her today? Lorraine says, yeah. We need to see some drums. These people.
We've got drum rolls there, Camilita.
Yeah, we need to see some drums. Okay, brilliant. All right. I am going to paste Jacynth's website. It's right there in the chat. I want everybody to go to that site right now and download a couple of chapters of her ebook. You can also buy the full ebook. Okay, so go now. You will get 3 chapters free. Tell her what exactly you're looking for. Why you are wanting to change, why you need to change. Do it now. You get 3 chapters of an ebook absolutely free. And then you could reach out to her and say, Jacynth, I need your help. I'm stuck. If you're stuck, get help. Don't just sit there and complain.
It makes no sense that if you have a problem, if you're stuck, you don't get help. If you have a problem with your car, you get help. If you have a problem with your health, you get help. And so if you have a problem in moving forward, get some help.
That is so powerful what you just said.
Contact me through my website, join the club, and we can speak.
Yes, I'm posting the link for everybody there now. Click on jacynthivey.com, okay, and go to the website. You're getting 3 chapters of her ebook absolutely free today. And when you join the club, you will be hearing Jacynth on our club pre-launch next week. And every week or every month, she'll be posting stuff. You can reach out to her and say, thank you for helping me. And you need her to, when you want to work with her as your coach, you can also tell her that as well. So get cracking, guys. Click and join the club. Go and download the ebook, 3 chapters, and speak with Jacynth today. You can speak with her. Jacynth, one last parting word before you leave. I'm coming back to the book again. It's okay to be different.
It's okay to be different. Acknowledge your brilliance. There is brilliance and there is light in every single one of us. And so that's what I would say to you is acknowledge your brilliance. Look in the mirror and tell yourself how wonderful you are, how fearfully and wonderfully you were created. And those who can't and having problems, contact me.
And that's it. You can't just stay there where you are. And let me just share something, guys. All of you that are here and are listening, Jacynth is one of our council members, so she will be in the club. So you will hear her as we go along. And we will be discussing a lot more about this. There was one point, Jacynth, I remember you sharing it, and I want you to just finish off with this. Yeah. There was one point in which you said you felt as if, you know, sort of you're stuck, but then you realized enough is enough.
Yeah.
What should people do? Just tell us this before we go. What should people do when they feel enough is enough?
Going back to what I said earlier, when you get to that point where enough is enough, that's when you call for help. That's when you look for and get the best help that you can for the situation that you find yourself in. Don't struggle alone. So I'd say, don't struggle alone. Don't try and find your way out, because it's dark in that place. It's very difficult for you to find your way out. Get some help, get some support, get a coach.
But see, the thing is, you're not helping yourself when you don't, and you're not helping your potential clients when you don't. You're not serving humanity when you don't. When you don't just get up and just get it done or get help. The thing that's in you, the drive, the thing to solve someone's problem or serve someone's need, you are not giving the world the opportunity to experience that. And that is wrong.
And just to say, because when you're in that place, remember I talked about wilderness mentality. When you're in that place, we're doing the same thinking, we're going round and round and round and not finding any new solutions to help you to actually get out of that valley, out of that wilderness.
Oh my God. Do you know what? And it's a hard place to be in, that place.
It is.
Guys, Wayne said, I went to the website but did not get the download. Wayne, it will come to you by email. So just check your email list, or check your spam folder. Sometimes it may go in there depending on if you haven't received an email from Jacynth yet. Check your spam folder, and also check your email. When you fill it in, you will get an email link. Click on that link and you will get to download the ebook. Okay, just for everybody, fill it in, click on the link, and when you do, okay, brilliant. You will get the link so you can, Daryl said, bust it. I'm going to send the link in there for everybody again. Go to click on this link now and get those 3 chapters. Fill in the form on the screen that you can see. Look at your email. It will come in the email. Click on the link and download it now. And more importantly, send Jacynth a message. Something Jacynth has said has really knocked you and you think, gosh, I need to sort this out. Then tell her, what is it that you need? And can I ask everybody, how many of you enjoyed what Jacynth shared today? Somebody tell me if you enjoyed it. It blessed you. Daryl said he bossed it. It blessed you so much. You really love what Jacynth said. You think, yes. I want you to write her a little testimonial right in the chat. She can put on her website. Write a little testimonial in there now. Can I ask everybody to do that that's listening? And hashtag Global Champion Summit. Share something that Jacynth shared on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. Okay, share a testimonial in there and hashtag Global Champion Summit and let people know what Jacynth has said. Like that whole thing about that wilderness man, that's powerful. I can see it.
Yes.
Gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, you're smiling now, ear to ear. I can see you're smiling ear to ear. Oh.
Yeah.
What was the hardest thing when you were going through that wilderness experience, when you were going through that space where you had no money, but you know you could do more? What was the hardest thing you had to face? Was it your children faces? Was it the shame? Was it that whole mindset of, you know, I could do more? What was it? What was the hardest for you?
So there were a number of things. Was around ensuring that my children didn't feel any different. Yeah, so that it was hard at times, Camilita, to feed my children.
My God.
I'd send them to their grandmothers to eat, and I wouldn't have anything to eat. So it was maintaining a sense of normality for my children was hard. I felt at one point shame and guilt, shame that I'd allowed myself to get to this place, and the guilt. There was a guilt that sometimes you can't even articulate what that guilt is. Guilty that I couldn't feed the children, guilty that actually as the bailiffs knocked on the door, I had to go shh to the children. So pretend we weren't.
How you travel first class all over the place?
Yeah, I do. I do, but I do that because I've earned it. Yes, I wouldn't do it actually. And again, it's proportionality, Camilita. I keep going back to, and I know you talk about proportionality. So I can now travel first class. And if I choose to, if I want to, I can travel first class. A few years ago, I couldn't have done that. I might have paid for it, but actually it wouldn't have been as comfortable as it is now.
Yes, yes.
As it is now. So yeah, those challenges. And the other thing was when people meet you and they'd say, "Oh, Jacynth, what are you doing now?"
Oh, I love people to say that to me.
Yeah. But back then it was, it was kind of,
oh my God.
That wasn't really a choice. It was, I just said, well, I'm just between, kind of jobs, just kind of, I would kind of bluff my way through it at that point. And
embarrassed. Wow.
Yeah. But now it's quite interesting is I say, yeah, I work with people to help them to be the best that they can be. How are you? What are you doing? I want to hear what others are doing and how they are. And then, maybe how I can support them.
And so guys, look, you're hearing this right here. I mean, this is, and you know what I like, Jacynth? It's not a rah-rah situation. You're just being very open and very honest and sharing, where you are. It's just, yeah, I mean, I'm so glad you're part of our club because I really need people to hear this information a whole lot more. Darrell said, I remember our food being color-coded. Blue strip or yellow label. It's so powerful. Sheldon said, what's the one key thing you'll take away from your success today?
Belief. Yeah. As a Christian, I have a belief in God that actually, he will not let me down. He has a plan and a purpose for me in my life. But and also a belief, I've developed a belief in myself and my abilities. And that is a belief that I can and will and do help, support, enable individuals and organizations. And that belief comes from the testimonies that I get, the results that other people the results that others get, organizations have, and the testimonies and feedback that I get. So that fuels that belief. So guys, look, if you want to listen, you want to talk to Jacynth, you want to get those resources, the link is right there in the chat. Go to jacynthivey.com/resources and download 3 chapters of that ebook right now. And you could send her a message. Don't just listen and send her a message. Say, look, I need your help. I need to do something with my existence. I'm tired of where I am. Okay, and click on the link and join the club. It's $10 a month, US, $10, it's not a lot. Jacynth is going to be in there and you will hear more of this, and you could reach out to her as well and ask for support. This is your moment. You don't know what tomorrow holds, but you have today.